Relationships are God's gracious gift to us. We were created for relationships. Even when we look at the Bible and the creation narrative, it noted that man should not be alone. As ministry leaders, we are no exception to the need for friendships. The New Testament narrative includes so many snapshots of Jesus surrounded, enjoying friendships, men and women alike. And we really see that he gives effort and attention to these relationships. Listen to his words. No longer do I call you servants, but I've called you my friend, Jesus tells us in John 15. And yet, Jesus never expected these friendships to meet all his needs, nor was he crushed when they failed him. His most intimate friends failed to understand and gather with him in a show of support and prayer in the anguish of the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus knew that Peter would deny him. Yes, Jesus knows the sting of unmet expectations and failed support. These earthly friendships are God's precious gift to us. They are beautiful and wonderful and vulnerable, but they were never designed to be the ultimate sources of strength or companionship. Friendship always comes with a risk because of humanity, both ours and others. In order for us to have genuine friendship, there needs to be honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to expose ourselves freely to others. Without those features, we will just remain acquaintances and not genuine friends. It's true, ministry can complicate the landscape of your friendship. Even if you don't see it and sense it, many others will. We have to be willing to incur the risk in relationships. A very helpful definition of the word vulnerability is this: a risk you take for a greater good. This certainly applies to ministry leaders developing friendships. The definition does not deny the reality of the risk, and yet it reminds us why we would incur the risk for a greater good. The greater good in making friends is community, spiritual and emotional support, sharing interests, and mutual burden bearing. Because of the reality of this risk, many leaders will just bypass friendships to protect themselves. And I just want to say that is a short-sighted, unwise posture. Friendships contribute deeply to our emotional health. And while not every friend that I ever have had has been life-giving, and frankly, some of my relationships didn't end well, but they are very much worth the risk. We need to pursue friendships. More than likely, because of your ministry role, you may have to be the initiator. People likely assume that you're too busy, that you have tons of friends, and you aren't like everyone else. The fact that you will have to be the initiator is just one of those things that comes with ministry territory. Don't make it an excuse for isolation and self-pity. It certainly does take energy and time to pursue and build friendships in your life, but they are too valuable for you to miss. It's short-sighted and harmful to believe that you don't have time to pursue and cultivate friendships. We also must constantly walk cautiously and wisely. There may be those in your church who pursue you for a friendship who really aren't safe for you. You need to be aware of those people. We also have to intentionally invest. We all love natural chemistry when it comes to long-term and meaningful relationships. However, there is more to friendship than just chemistry. An investment of time and effort and care is required. Unattended friendship rarely develops or deepens. Rich, abiding friendships require an investment, and without intentionality, they will never exist or flourish. We must believe friends are truly life-giving and vital enough for us to be diligently invested in them. Your time and investment demonstrates the priority you place on these friendships. If you're too busy for friendships, you might just be too busy. Friendships allow us to walk in honesty and we can build trust. Yes, we can and should demonstrate openness and honesty to everyone. Good leadership requires that. Yet personal friendships are a place of mutual honesty and trust. You may also need to be keenly wise with certain details of your personal life. Not every reality in my life needs exposure, nor does it in you. And like any intimate other friendship, your close friends will see more clearly the depth of your character and your soul. We can easily fail and disappoint our friends as well. When that occurs, we just have to own those feelings and seek forgiveness. Real friends do that. In this way, God can use these friendships and tools in our lives in sanctification. Leaders need friends. Proverb reminds us a friend loves at all time, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. This is powerfully true, and I urge you to pursue healthy, life giving friendships.